Guys, we're glad to water boy Henry. So let's continue reading. But guys, we have to start reading. This is a thing of the COVID-19 because all my other videos were just about storms or anything. But now we're turning thing. Where extreme heat and COVID-19 collide, experts fear a dangerous recipe for at-risk communities. It was at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now is in Eastern Standard Time, 1:16 time. It's the 24th. Okay. I don't know how that is. Like, oh yeah, that was PM. But I'm gonna watch this video.
As temperatures soar, we know that heat exhaustion and heat stroke are a frightening reality. But we also know the things that we should do. Avoid exercise during the heat of the day, drink lots of fluids. But there are some things you should not do, and they may surprise you. Avoid drinking ice cold water. The water temperature is much colder than your core body temperature. When you drink it, it could result in muscle cramps, which will cause you to drink less water. When it's super hot outside, box fans are useless. But when the temperature gets above 98 degrees or warmer than your body temperature, it's just spreading more hot air. The best bet is to find air conditioning. Avoid sugary sports drinks. Sports drinks are great when replenishing electrolytes after a workout, but when it comes to hot temperatures, the last thing you need. A lot of them contain a lot of sugar and even caffeine, which can make you feel more thirsty. Avoid high-protein food. We're not talking about cut them out altogether, but just cut back. In fact, food high in protein can take 50 to 100% more energy to digest. So on those hot summer days, you may be better off eating fruits and breads as opposed to chicken on the barbecue.
From the start, the COVID-19 pandemic has revealed America's social and economic inequality in stark relief. But it is particularly effective in killing people of color, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions. Now, as the country switches to the thick of what is likely to be another certain summer, another invisible threat looms. This weekend, as a heat wave bakes huge swaths of the country under triple-digit heat indexes, some fear that the collision of COVID-19 and extreme heat could be a dangerous combination. Extreme heat can threaten anyone. Many of the same groups who are at a great risk of serious illness from COVID-19 are also the most vulnerable groups to heat exposure. Within indoor gatherings, not to facilitate the spread of COVID-19, cities and relief organizations are suggesting how to keep safe in this new normal. And millions across the country out of work and the virus forcing vulnerable people to stay in their homes, experts say the pandemic is compounding the heat risk for those who are already struggling. For staying safe from COVID-19, the message is that you're safer at home, said Dave Honora, a researcher at Arizona State University's Urban Climate Research Center who studies extreme heat and health. That is true from the COVID-19 perspective, but if you don't have sufficient cooling or are not able to control the temperature of your home, you may not be. How heat kills. Though it tends to get less attention than other weather events, extreme heat can and tragically does kill. It is one of the most deadly types of weather-related events in the U.S., killing an average of 702 people each year, according to Paul Sukram, the climate science team lead at the Centers for Disease Control. That's more than are killed in hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes in most years, he says. I've got pictures. He predicted homelessness and housing insecurity, receiving water, food, and heat relief at Andre House in Phoenix on July 11, 2020. The pandemic is forcing cities to change how they keep residents safe from extreme heat. When high temperatures combined with stifling humidity are expected to do this weekend across the Midwest, South, and East, it can overwhelm a person's ability to sweat and cool down, leading to spikes in body temperature that can damage the brain and other organs. And when temperatures stay high without a cool down overnight, the heat risk can rise even further. The threat is greatest for the elderly, young children, people who are overweight, and those who work outside or exercise during the hottest part of the day, according to the CDC. Experts also point to social isolation as a concern when it comes to extreme heat. The coroner recommends that people check in on at-risk family members or neighbors at least twice a day to look out for signs of heat exhaustion. Cities are changing how they keep residents cool. We know that staying home and away from others is the best way to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But if people are stuck inside without a means to keep cool, they could be trading one danger for another. And the danger is maybe not the COVID-19 but could die of heat exhaustion or heat stroke. The CDC has issued guidance for how to safely open cooling centers, which many cities are still offering. However, many of the informal cooling centers people normally use to get a break from the heat, malls, libraries, pools, and grocery stores, are either closed independently in many places or aren't a safe place to spend hours inside. So this is for Sunday, right? If right into the night time, it's how you call it, Friday. So I think they have like the hottest temperatures. Now over here where I am down in Louisiana, versus the heat index will approach 100 in parts of Midwest and South this weekend. So guys, there's hard thunder and not having thunderstorms. That has scared the heck out of me. I'll continue reading. Folks are being put in a different position, Hannah said. They stay at home to avoid getting COVID-19, although I risk heat illness or worse if my home is too hot. Gentry W. Trotter, who runs Cool Down St. Louis, Oro, a nonprofit that provides air conditioning and energy assistance to vulnerable populations, said demand and St. Louis and half for his organization's services. The Haiti could see feels like temperatures between 100 and 105 degrees this weekend. In the middle of summer in a normal year, Trotter said he typically gets around 1,500 inquiries per week about cooling assistance. This past week, however, the nonprofit received more than 5,000 calls or online messages from people in need. Thanks to donations and local funding from the CARES Act, he said so far they have been able to meet the level of need. But there are many more hot days still to come this summer, and the economic fallout from COVID-19 shows little sign of abating. So far, we're hanging in there, he said. Every time I think we're out of money, a miracle happens and funding pops up. You can see why there's so many people in this cooling place. People try to keep cool at Cocora's Beach at Coney Island and Brooklyn on July 2020 in New York City. Most of the country will experience another heat wave this weekend. And they're not practicing social distancing, so that's something bad after COVID-19. Other cities are taking a proactive approach. In New York City, which could see temperatures climb back into the high 90s by the end of the weekend, officials are delivering thousands of air conditioners to low-income seniors to protect those who are most vulnerable to heat and COVID-19. We know that the same population that is susceptible to COVID-19 and has susceptible to heat illness, said Ben Carrera, an executive advisor in New York's Office of Emergency Management. We also know that people staying in their apartments during heat wave can see temperatures 10 to 20 degrees hotter than outside, which is why it's so dangerous. The city's Public Service Commission also approved $7 million in aid to provide roughly 440,000 families with up to $140 in utility assistance from June to October. October es my birthday, me van a decir which day. And though the city is opening as many cooling centers as in years past, there will be around 220 modified ones available, as well as cool streets distributed throughout the city with misting tents and spraying caps on fire hydrants, Crocker said. This is a long thing to read. Climate change is also amplifying the risk. On top of all of this, there's climate change, which many studies have shown is making heat waves even more intense. A study released earlier this year found that there were also now about 5 more exceptionally hot days in the northern hemisphere compared to 1960, and these days are approximately 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.5 degrees Celsius warmer due to global warming. The researchers also found that without steps to rein in greenhouse gases, many as 3/4 of summer days across much of the northern hemisphere could feature nearly around the clock extreme heat by 2010. I don't know what that means, but tell me in the comment section. You got to go. They have something that I have to go. Never say that in the but I must do my other channel. I can't wait too. So yeah, guys. So here's some favorite page on this for some seconds. Guys, no, I like the one too. And the best was hoping that was in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let's continue reading. Climate change is all bringing high temperatures into regions that are less equipped to deal with them, which can amplify an already dangerous situation, said Julie Tahe, Health and Integrated Climate Extremes Research led at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. One of the things that concerns us are the parts of the country I don't traditionally think of themselves as having a heat problem, like Seattle or Maine. And yeah, when it's really hot in Seattle and there's no air conditioning, that's a problem. So yeah, guys. So please pray for me because I heard something. I hope that was to be bad to us. I hope not. So yeah, guys. So be safe for me, please. So I'm gonna pray for you if you do in the comment section. On social media. So yeah, guys. So today for your page, not like and subscribe here in the next video. Bye bye.